They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but not this time. Because this time, the scandal that unfolded in the middle of Jennifer's picture-perfect wedding weekend has left fans, friends, and even family in complete shock. Just when the celebration was supposed to be about vows, love, and new beginnings. An explosive revelation by Jackie shook the entire house of cards apart. According to whispers making rounds online, Jackie allegedly leaked something no one expected, a supposed pregnancy report tied to Brandi. And if that wasn't enough to send jaws dropping, the shocking part of the rumor claimed the father could be none other than Jennifer's own fiancé. Yes, the very man standing at the altar with Jennifer ready to say I do suddenly found his name tangled in whispers of betrayal, secrets, and scandal. Cameras caught emotions running high, friends questioning loyalties, and fans demanding answers. What should have been a fairy tale wedding quickly spiraled into what many are now calling the most jaw-dropping reality TV scandal in recent memory. So how did Jackie come across these claims? Why did Bry's name even surface? And could Jennifer's dream wedding have turned into her worst nightmare? Let's dive in. The night in Vegas had started like a dream, filled with glimmering chandeliers, the sound of laughter echoing through the marble halls and the scent of roses and champagne filling the air. This was supposed to be the highlight of Jennifer's life, her wedding weekend, where she would finally walk into her happily ever after. The women had flown in from different cities the families had gathered, and every detail of the celebration looked straight out of a fairy tale. But hidden beneath the surface of all the glamour was a ticking time bomb that no one had seen coming except Jackie. From the very beginning of the evening, people noticed that Jackie wasn't her usual self. She was restless, pacing the floor with her phone clutched tightly in her hand, eyes darting around the room as if searching for the perfect moment to strike. Whispers followed her wherever she went. Because if history had taught the group anything, it was that Jackie never kept quiet when she had information. And this time she was holding on to something that could break not just friendships, but the very foundation of Jennifer's wedding. Brandi. Dressed elegantly in a soft gown, looked radiant, but slightly uneasy. She had been trying to shake off the gossip that had trailed her for weeks. Rumors that she thought were nothing more than petty shade. She mingled with the guests, raised her glass, and smiled politely. But deep inside, she felt that uneasy knot in her stomach. She didn't know that her worst fears were about to be unleashed in front of everyone she knew. The music lowered slightly as conversations grew more intimate. Laughter filling the room. That was when Jackie chose her moment. She stepped forward, clearing her throat with a deliberate sound that caught everyone's attention. The room slowly fell silent, and all eyes turned toward her. I didn't want to bring this up here, Jackie began, her tone heavy with a mixture of authority and drama. But the truth has a way of showing itself whether we like it or not. And tonight I can't stay silent anymore. People froze, confused. Some assumed it was another one of Jackie's attempts to stir up drama. But the serious look on her face silenced even the most skeptical. Bry's eyes widened in horror, her hand tightening around her glass. Jennifer, standing near her fiancé, turned sharply toward Jackie, her heart thumping as if bracing for a blow. Jackie's voice carried across the room. There are reports, official reports, that Brandi is pregnant. The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. Guests gasped, hands flew to mouths, and the atmosphere shifted instantly from celebratory to scandalous. Brandi stepped forward quickly, her voice shaking. Jackie, not now. Don't do this here, please. But Jackie didn't stop. She leaned closer, her eyes narrowing. Not now or not ever, because the truth doesn't wait for anyone. And here's the part you don't want people to hear. These reports don't just mention a pregnancy. They tie the father directly to Jennifer's fiancé. The room erupted into chaos. Voices overlapped. Gasps turned into shouts, and some guests could barely process what they had just heard. Jennifer's champagne glass slipped slightly in her hand, spilling golden liquid down her dress. Her fiancé froze, his face turning pale as every eye in the room landed on him. What the hell are you talking about? He snapped, slamming his glass onto the nearest table. You're out of line, Jackie. This is sick. But Jackie stood her ground, unshaken by his outburst. Then tell me why your name is being whispered in connection to Bry's pregnancy. If it's all lies, say it now. Look Jennifer in the eyes and deny it. Jennifer's hands trembled as she whispered, Is this true? Tell me this isn't true. She searched his face for reassurance, but his silence stretched just a beat too long. The hesitation was enough to ignite the crowd. Brandi's single quotes S voice cracked as she tried to defend herself. This is cruel. I didn't come here for this. I didn't want my life on display like this. Whatever you think you know, Jackie, you don't. Jackie smirked bitterly. So you're saying it's false? Say it clearly, Brandi. Deny it, Brandi froze, the weight of the room pressing down on her. Tears welled up in her eyes as she turned away, unable to form a denial that would silence the rumors. Her silence became the loudest answer of the night. Friends and family began to murmur. Evelyn, sitting with a glass of wine, leaned toward another guest and whispered, "If this is true, Jennifer's wedding is over before it even starts." The groom-to-be tried to recover, moving closer to Jennifer. "Baby, don't listen to this. You know me. You know I love you. This is just Jackie trying to ruin our moment." But Jennifer's eyes burned with doubt. "Then why aren't you denying it immediately? Why aren't you looking me in the eye and saying she's lying?" His jaw tightened, his fists clenched, but no words came. Brandi broke down, her voice trembling as she cried. "I'm tired of this. I didn't ask for any of it. People just want to tear me apart." Jackie's expression hardened. "People aren't tearing you apart, Brandi. Secrets are. And secrets have a way of coming out whether you like it or not." The room spiraled. Some guests sided with Brandi, believing Jackie had gone too far, while others rallied around Jennifer, urging her to demand the truth. Phones were already out, recording snippets, and within minutes, social media was ablaze with hashtags about the Vegas wedding scandal. Hashtags about the Vegas wedding scandal. Jennifer's best friend shouted, "This is disgusting. She's supposed to be celebrating love, and now she's humiliated." But another voice argued, "Better to know the truth before vows than after. If there's a secret child involved, Jennifer deserves the truth now." The tension grew unbearable. Jennifer finally stepped forward, tears glistening in her eyes. "Tell me now," she said to her fans, her voice breaking. "Tell me this isn't true. Swear to me it isn't." All eyes locked on him. The entire wedding hung in the balance, and still his silence dragged on like a knife twisting deeper into Jennifer's heart. The silence stretched on, and with every passing second, the air grew heavier. Jennifer stood frozen, her hands trembling, her eyes pleading for the truth that never came. Her fiancé opened his mouth, then shut it again, as if words had abandoned him in the moment they were most needed. The guests exchanged uneasy glances, whispers filling the corners of the room like a storm brewing in the distance. Jackie folded her arms, her face calm but her eyes sharp. "That silence," she said slowly, deliberately, "speaks louder than any denial ever could." Jennifer turned away, her chest heaving as she tried to steady herself. Her voice cracked. "Do you know how humiliating this is? On my wedding night with my family watching, my friends here, the world practically looking in. You could have ended this in 2 words. Not true, but you didn't." Brandi stepped forward, tears running down her cheeks, her voice shaking. "Jennifer, I swear this isn't how it looks. I never wanted this to happen like this. Please don't believe everything Jackie is throwing at you." She's twisting it. But Jackie's laugh cut through the tension like glass shattering, twisting it. "Really? You think I'd risk my credibility on your little secret? No, sweetheart. I have receipts. I have the very report that proves it. You can deny all you want, but the truth is written in black and white." A gasp swept across the room. People shifted closer, desperate to see what Jackie was hinting at. Some pulled out their phones, hoping to capture the moment that was already shaping up to be the scandal of the year. The groom-to-be clenched his jaw and stepped toward Jackie. "You're not about to parade lies in front of everyone just to ruin us." "Give me that damn report." Jackie smirked, clutching her phone tighter. "Funny how eager you are to snatch it away. Almost like you don't want anyone else to see." Evelyn chimed in from her seat, shaking her head. "This is wild. I mean, if she's got proof, this whole wedding is over. But if she doesn't, Jackie's about to make the biggest fool of herself." The groom's best man rushed forward, trying to calm things down. "Everybody relax. We don't need to turn this into a circus. Let's step aside. Figure this out like adults." But Jennifer wasn't having it. Her voice rang out steady despite the tears streaming down her face. "No more stepping aside. No more hiding. Jackie, if you have proof, show it. Show me right now. I deserve to know who I'm marrying right now. I deserve to know who I'm marrying." The crowd erupted with shouts of agreement and disbelief. People were on their toes, waiting, recording, gossiping in hushed but urgent tones. Jackie unlocked her phone slowly, almost theatrically as the guests leaned in. She scrolled, then held the screen up high enough for Jennifer to see, but not too far for others to catch. Glimpses. Jennifer's hand flew to her mouth as she read. Her knees buckled slightly, and one of her bridesmaids rushed to steady her. "Oh my God," she whispered, her voice hollow. Brandi panicked, her voice rising. "You don't understand. That doesn't prove anything. Reports can be doctored. People can make things up. You're just trying to destroy me." Jackie's tone dripped with venom. "Sweetheart, the doctor's name, the dates, the details, it's all there. You can scream all you want, but the facts don't change." The groom's face flushed red as he tried to grab the phone, but Jackie jerked it away. "Touch me and everyone here will know you're trying to hide. The truth's already out. You can't put the genie back in the bottle." Jennifer's father, who had been quiet until now, suddenly spoke up, his voice booming. "Is this true? Answer me right now. Did you betray my daughter?" The groom stammered, his hands trembling. "Sir, please. It's not what it looks like. I love Jennifer. I want to marry her. These are just lies, manipulations." But Jennifer's father stepped closer, pointing a finger in his face. "Don't you dare lie to me. If you've done this, if you've brought this shame into my family, you won't take another step near my daughter." The tension in the room felt unbearable. Some guests tried to leave quietly, but most stayed. Captivated by the unfolding disaster, Brandi fell into a chair, burying her face in her hands. Her sobs echoed across the hall, mixing with the whispers and gasps. A bridesmaid muttered under her breath, "This is supposed to be a wedding, not a courtroom drama." Jennifer, still shaking, turned back to her fiancé. "You need to be honest with me. Did you or did you not have an affair with Brandi? Is she carrying your child?" The room went silent again. Everyone leaned forward, breathless. He hesitated, his mouth dry, sweat dripping down his forehead. Then finally, in a barely audible whisper, he said it was one mistake. One night it didn't mean anything. A collective gasp filled the room louder than before. Some guests screamed, others covered their faces, and phones captured every second of the bombshell confession. Jennifer staggered backward as if the words had physically struck her. "One night, one mistake, and now she's carrying your child. You were supposed to be my forever, and you destroyed everything with one night." Brandi lifted her head, tears streaming, but her voice desperate. "Jennifer, please believe me. I didn't plan this. I never wanted this to happen. I'm so sorry." But Jennifer's fury was unstoppable. "Sorry. You betrayed me with the man I was going to marry. You've destroyed me, both of you." Jackie raised an eyebrow, her voice cold. "And you all thought I was the villain. All I did was shine a light on the truth. Now the real villains are exposed." The groom reached for Jennifer's hand, but she pulled away violently. "Dante, touch me. Don't you ever touch me again." Her voice cracked with rage and heartbreak. Friends rushed to comfort her, while others surrounded Brandi, either offering sympathy or unleashing judgment. The wedding, once a fairy tale, had turned into a battlefield of tears, accusations, and broken hearts. And yet, even as the chaos consumed the room, one lingering question remained unanswered. What would Jennifer do now that her entire future had been shattered in front of everyone? The hall was still buzzing with disbelief. The confession had dropped like a bomb, and now all that remained was the fallout. Guests clutched their pearls, shook their heads, or whispered furiously into their phones. It felt less like a wedding and more like a scandal broadcast live. Each second more shocking than the last. Jennifer stood at the center of it all, her dress glittering under the lights, but her spirit visibly dimmed. Her lips trembled as she tried to process the betrayal that had shattered her heart. "You lied to me," she said softly, her words trembling yet cutting through the noise. "You promised me honesty. You promised me forever, and now I find out you gave that forever to someone else." Her fiancé reached toward her, desperation painted across his face. "Jennifer, please don't throw everything away over one mistake. It was one night, one stupid decision. I love you. I want you. That's what matters." But Jennifer recoiled, her eyes blazing with rage. "Don't you dare talk to me about love. Love isn't betrayal. Love isn't sneaking behind my back with my so-called friend. Love isn't making me the biggest fool in front of everyone I love." Brandi, her cheeks wet with tears, stepped forward, hands trembling. "Jennifer, I never wanted this to happen. I swear on everything, I didn't plan this. It just happened and I regret it every single day. Please, you have to believe me." Jennifer whipped around to face her, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. "Believe you? How can I believe anything that comes out of your mouth? You smiled at me. You stood by me through the entire engagement. You toasted to my happiness while carrying the dirtiest secret imaginable. How could you? How could you stand there and act like my friend while you were destroying my life?" The bridesmaids whispered among themselves, their faces pale. One muttered under her breath, "There's no coming back from this. No friendship, no wedding, nothing." Jackie leaned against a nearby chair, arms folded, her expression smug. "You see, this is why I said what I said. I warned you all, didn't I? Secrets have a way of surfacing, and when they do, it's never pretty." Evelyn turned on her, rolling her eyes. "Don't act like you're some savior, Jackie. You didn't expose this for Jennifer's sake. You did it because you love chaos. You live for it." Jackie smirked. "Maybe, but tell me I'm wrong. Tell me the truth doesn't hurt, even if it's ugly. I didn't create this mess. I just held up the mirror." The tension between the two women nearly sparked another argument. But the focus quickly snapped back to the bride. Jennifer's mother, clutching her pearls, rushed forward and grabbed her daughter's hands. "Baby, listen to me. You don't have to go through with this. You don't have to tie yourself to a man who's... You don't have to go through with this. You don't have to tie yourself to a man who's already betrayed you. You deserve so much better." Her father stepped forward, his voice booming with anger. "If you walk down that aisle with him, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. He's brought shame into this family, and I won't stand for it." The groom, panic spreading across his face, grabbed the microphone meant for vows. His voice shook as he tried to salvage what little he could. "Listen to me. Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I was weak. But it was one night. It meant nothing. Jennifer, I love you. Not Brandi. I never wanted her. I want you. This can't end us." But Jackie burst into mocking laughter. "One night. Is that supposed to make it better? One night is all it takes to ruin everything. And clearly, one night is all it took to create the mess we're standing in right now. Your little mistake has consequences. And those consequences are crying right next to you." All eyes shifted to Brandi, who was still sobbing uncontrollably. Her hands clutched her stomach instinctively, and the implication wasn't lost on anyone. Whispers rippled through the crowd like wildfire. "Is she really pregnant? Is it true? It's his child. Oh my God, this is insane." Brandi lifted her tear-streaked face and cried out, "Please stop. This isn't about you, Jackie. It never was. This is my pain, my mistake, my mess. Stop making it worse." But Jackie's voice dripped with venom. "You made it worse the moment you betrayed your friend. Don't cry to me about pain when you're the reason this woman's entire future just went up in flames." Guests shouted over each other, some defending Jennifer, some condemning Brandi, others just shocked at the entire debacle. It was chaos, the kind that reality television producers dream about. Finally, Jennifer raised her hand, silencing the noise. Her eyes were swollen from crying, but her voice carried strength. "Enough, all of you. I've heard enough excuses, enough lies, enough betrayals. I don't want to hear another word." She turned to her fiancé, her voice trembling but resolute. "You were supposed to be my forever. You promised me loyalty, and instead you gave me humiliation. You've destroyed me, and I will never forgive you." He dropped to his knees, clutching at the fabric of her gown. "Please, Jennifer, don't do this. Don't let this be the end. We can fix this. We can go to therapy, counseling, whatever it takes. I'll prove myself to you." But she yanked her dress away, her face filled with disgust. "Dante, touch me. Don't even say my name. You don't deserve it." The crowd gasped, some applauding her strength, others simply stunned by her coldness. Brandi sobbed louder. "Jennifer, please don't hate me forever. I can't live with that. I never wanted this to come between us." Jennifer's glare cut her down instantly. "You already made sure I'll never look at you again. You're dead to me. Do you hear me? Dead." Her words sliced through the air, final and merciless. Jackie smirked again, satisfied. And that's that. The truth is out and the world is watching. Maybe next time people will think twice before keeping secrets. But Evelyn muttered, shaking her head. "You're proud of yourself. You've destroyed a woman's wedding. You've destroyed friendships. And you're smiling. That's sick, Jackie." Jackie shot her a cold glance. "Don't blame me for pulling the trigger. Blame them for loading the gun. Don't blame me for pulling the trigger. Blame them for loading the gun." The tension crackled. Jennifer stood motionless, her tears drying into something harder. Colder resolve. Her entire life had been turned upside down in front of everyone she knew. And yet she stood taller now than before. The guests could feel it that this wasn't the end of the story. Because if Brandi was truly pregnant, and if that child truly belonged to the man who had just confessed, then this scandal was only in its first act. The room was frozen in silence after Jennifer's final words. The guests, the family, even the staff working behind the scenes. All of them were holding their breath, waiting to see what came next. Everyone could feel it. The wedding wasn't just ruined. It had transformed into something darker, something unforgettable. Bry's sobs echoed through the hall, and every sound was like a dagger into Jennifer's chest. Evelyn, standing nearby, placed a protective arm around Jennifer as if shielding her from any more pain. "You don't have to stay here," Evelyn whispered, her voice firm but tender. "We can walk out together. Leave this behind." But Jennifer shook her head. Her face was pale, her hands trembling, yet her resolve was unshakable. "No, I'm not running away. I want everyone to see what betrayal looks like. I want them to remember this moment because this isn't just about me. This is about every woman who's ever been lied to, who's ever been humiliated." Her words carried across the room and murmurs rippled through the crowd. Some women nodded, visibly moved by her strength, while others whispered in shock at her coldness. Harry Wantz, still on his knees, broke down completely. "Please, Jennifer, I beg you. Give me a chance to make this right. I'll leave this place with you right now. Just don't end us." Jackie let out a low chuckle that sent shivers through the room. "You're begging now, pathetic. You had everything and you threw it away. And now you want sympathy? Not from me and certainly not from her?" Brandi cried harder, her hands clutching her stomach. "Jackie, stop. This isn't about you making fun of him. This is about a life growing inside me. A life that didn't ask for any of this." For a split second, the weight of her words sank into the crowd. Everyone went silent again, processing what she had just admitted. Not only was she pregnant, but by her own words, she had all but confirmed the child's father. Jennifer's body stiffened. She turned slowly, her eyes narrowing as she stared at Brandi. "So it's true. You didn't even have the decency to deny it. You're carrying his child." Brandi covered her face, unable to answer. Her silence was all the confirmation Jennifer needed. The crowd gasped collectively, some people clutching their chests, others shaking their heads in disbelief. This wasn't a rumor anymore. It was a confession. Jennifer's voice cracked as she spoke, but her anger still burned through. "You're disgusting, both of you. While I was planning my future, you were creating your own behind my back. While I was picking flowers and writing vows, you were writing lies and hiding sins." Her fiancé tried to stand, his voice breaking. "It doesn't matter. The baby doesn't change what I feel for you. I'll raise it as my mistake. I'll fix this." Jennifer cut him off with a piercing scream. "Fix it. You can't fix this. You can't erase betrayal. You can't erase humiliation. You've destroyed me. And you think a few pretty words will undo that?" Her voice echoed off the walls, and even Jackie looked momentarily stunned. But then she smirked again, leaning against the bar. "Say what you want about me, but I'll say this. At least now everyone knows the truth. At least now she's free to make her choice without lies holding her back." Evelyn turned, glaring daggers at Jackie. "You think you did her a favor? You destroyed her wedding. You crushed her happiness. You don't care about the truth. You just care about being the one to spill it." Jackie shrugged. "Truth hurts. But lies kill. I just chose which poison to deliver." Jennifer's father stormed toward the groom, his face red with fury. "You'll never step foot in my house again. You'll never speak to my daughter again. As far as I'm concerned, you're nothing." He shoved him back, and security quickly moved to separate them before fists could fly. The groom shouted back, "I love her. I won't let you take her from me." But Jennifer stepped forward, her voice like ice. "You don't have to worry about them taking me. I'm leaving you on my own." Gasps filled the air. She reached up, ripped the veil from her head, and let it fall to the floor. The gesture was powerful, symbolic. Final dot. Brandi tried one last desperate plea. "Please, Jen, don't hate me forever. I know I've lost your trust, but I don't want to lose your friendship completely. Please, for the baby." Jennifer's head snapped toward her, her glare cutting like a blade. "Don't you dare bring that baby into this. That's your burden, not mine. You made your choices. You can live with the consequences. But don't ever think I'll be part of that child's life. You took everything from me, and I'll never forgive you." Brandi collapsed into a chair, sobbing uncontrollably. Her shoulders shook as Evelyn looked on with pity, but no one stepped forward to comfort her. Not a single person. Jackie sipped her drink, shaking her head. Sad, isn't it? One secret, one mistake, and everything falls apart. But that's life. Messy, cruel, and honest. Evelyn turned to her with pure disgust. "You're the cruel one, not life." "You," the room began to clear. Guests filing out, whispering about the scandal they had just witnessed. Some pulled out their phones, already typing posts for social media. Within minutes, the entire world would know what had happened inside this hall. Jennifer stood tall in the center, broken but unbowed. Her voice carried across the nearly empty room. You wanted to see me fall. You wanted to see me humiliated, but I'm still standing. I may have lost my wedding, but I've gained clarity, and that's worth more than any ring or vow. Her words struck deep. A quain long after she left the hall with Evelyn by her side. The cameras caught it all. The betrayal, the tears, the strength. Fans online would dissect every moment, every word, every gesture. But one thing was certain. This was no longer just a wedding. It was a scandal that would live on in whisper headlines, an endless speculation. And as Brandi sat alone, clutching her stomach, and the groom begged in vain for forgiveness, Jackie leaned back with a satisfied smile. Well, she muttered to herself, that's one wedding no one will ever forget. The lights dimmed. The music stopped, and the fairy tale officially turned into a nightmare. Yet, beneath the heartbreak, one burning question lingered. Was this the end or just the beginning of something even darker? The wedding that was supposed to be remembered for love, glamour, and celebration will now forever be shadowed by whispers of betrayal, leaked secrets, and shocking revelations. What started as a joyful moment for Jennifer ended with tears, suspicions, and questions that no one seems ready to answer. Was Jackie's alleged leak a desperate move for attention or a calculated attempt to expose the truth? Is Brandi really carrying the child of Jennifer's fiancé? Or was this just another rumor fueled by jealousy and drama? Fans remain divided. Families appear torn, and the entire circle has been left reeling in disbelief. One thing is certain, though. This story has set social media on fire with people from around the world debating who to believe and what might happen next. Will Jennifer find the strength to stand by her man? Or will she walk away from a marriage that now feels built on lies? Will Brandi finally speak up and clear the air? Or will silence only add more fuel to the chaos? And as for Jackie, has she crossed the line from friend to enemy once and for all? But now we want to hear from you. Do you think Jackie was right to bring these claims into the open? Or should she have stayed quiet during such a special moment? Do you believe there's any truth to the rumors about Bry's pregnancy? Or is this nothing more than a scandal blown out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation going. If you enjoyed diving into this shocking drama, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next twist in this never-ending saga. Your support keeps us bringing you the stories that everyone is talking about. Bringing you the stories that everyone is talking